I want to thank Mike10four's for providing me with the abstract and the text from his videos concerning the proof of Thomas Jefferson's rights. I've read them and gone over them. And, life is a balancing act between the individual and society, and they're balanced. And for justice to be blind, you must know what the truth is. You need something to help you learn that. And I use the Quran because it's actually the true Word of God. Now, this is my response to you, Mike. I've typed it out, gathered my thoughts, and it's all very spontaneous. So I'm going to read it out loud now. This is a response to Mike10four's proof of Thomas Jefferson's self-evident rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I would like to thank Mike for providing me the text for the videos that he posted. His words have given me food for thought as I live my life of freedom, having already found my happiness. Mike mentions the laws of nature and the natural laws of man. In my mind, it's a turn of phrase that confused me at first. But after reading what he thinks about the both of them, I believe I understand. The laws of nature are those that do not change. I hope you know they come from God, the creator of everything. This thing we call the deity is the infinite reality, and the reason for you and me, the giver of life, the all-knowing one, that knows when time will end. We are but finite beings, born to die, yet many try to deny this truth, and have problems coping with reality too. The truth is that the laws of nature and the words, what Thomas Jefferson's words mean, are not self-evident to many. If they were, there'd be no need to give knowledge from one person to another. In reality, if man were just a dog, he'd live by instinct alone, with the desire to survive and perpetuate the species. There'd be no need to accumulate anything, or hoping for change also. You'd sleep wherever you wanted, and eat when you needed food. This is how all living creatures live their lives of liberty. Happiness is what you find inside your heart, and it's a feeling not unlike love. The truth is that you'd never know what either of those words meant if you didn't know what sadness was and what hate meant. This is one way to look at the duality that is all around us. Another way to explain duality is the physical and conceptual. Mike calls this the biological and social aspect of man. In my mind, biological is the physical reality that you and I can see in each and every human being. The truth about society is that it is a conceptual reality, and there is no life to it. Man is an individual who requires social contact to perpetuate the species. Which brings us to Mike's turn of phrase that he calls the natural laws of man. He believes that he has proven they are the same as the laws of nature that nature's God created. Unfortunately, he has assumed much in trying to prove his thesis, and yet to live in peace and harmony, one must understand the unity of the two. I hope that we all can agree that life always has an end, and that will never change until the end of time arrives. Liberty in reality is what we call free will. Every single one of us is born with it the moment we first see the light. The truth is that you can't survive from that moment forward without a little help. At first, it's your parents, and the family is the first collective that you realize in your life. Collectives come in all sorts of designs, from the street gangs to corporations, nations, and religions too. When the members of the collective work towards a common goal, you have a society that may just live in harmony together. If the members can't agree what the true meaning of the collective is, you then have disharmony. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is meaningless without understanding what the words mean. The meaning of these words are transmitted from one generation to another. I hope you understand that it changes in both space and time, my friend. From time to time, there needs to be someone who tells the truth again. I'm not talking about opinions, nor any statistical analysis. When you live your life by assumptions and statistical analysis, take a look at the beginning of those words, and that's what you'll become. You make an ass out of yourself and have an anal attitude. This seems to be the state of affairs in the state we call united. Know that it's just a natural consequence of time and history. The USA is the final manifestation of the following idea. The truth will set you free. And many think that freedom is a key that everyone desires. If you look up the word in the dictionary, though, it seems to mean no rules or regulations. Some think it would be anarchy. In reality, America was settled with no government at all, but what they had was a common belief, and worked toward the same goal. As time progressed and knowledge about reality expanded, though, many began to realize that others weren't actually free. In the hope and desire to change society, Many decided that government could force the changes they wanted down the throats of those who didn't believe the same things they did. They figured that democracy was the key to freedom for everyone. The truth, my friend, is that democracy is nothing but mob rule. If you are part of the larger mob, you may get what you desire at the expense of the minority, whoever that may be. Once again, knowledge is the key for all to live in peace and harmony. But the truth of the reality is that we keep changing what we teach. Those who claim to have great knowledge say that absolute truth is just an illusion, as they imagine a better world of peace and harmony. Progress is the illusion that many are chasing today. If they just let it be and take responsibility for what they think and do, they'd find their peace of mind and not worry about what they can't change. Hope is a word many use in the English language. In Islam, we use inshallah to convey much the same thing. That means God willing. For we can't predict the future. Allah is the all-knowing one, the infinite reality that has a plan for all mankind. But many try to deny it. Just as time moves sequentially from one moment to the next, life moves in the same direction until its final end. What happens after that moment is what many actually fear, and they're the ones who have a problem coping with reality, my dear. They want their life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, but don't know what it requires, as they try to tell you how to do it and ask the government for some help. The truth again is that mankind needs very little to survive and be happy. This is the message of a trinity of men before me. Sid's the guy they call Buddha, and was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. The man ran away from his responsibility in the selfish pursuit of his own happiness. What he discovered was a universal truth, and denied all the multiple deities of his Hindu upbringing. The freedom that he found he called nirvana, and began to teach others how to reach it. And this is what he taught. Take responsibility for all you think and everything you do. Know that suffering is a reality that hope will never change. The next guy in this trinity is Jesus 1.0. Some call him Jesus Christ, but in reality that's mixing up two words. Jesus was a Jewish guy and spoke a Semitic language, where God is the creator of everything, and worthy of singular worship. Christ, in reality, is a word of Indo-European origin. It means the Anointed One, and has nothing to do with God. The message that Jesus 1.0 taught was similar to Buddha's too. Take responsibility for what you think and do, and you will know the truth that sets you free. The third guy in this trinity, in reality, gets misunderstood by many people. Muhammad was the final prophet of the God of Abraham, and Jesus 1.0 was the prophet who arrived just before him. Peace be upon all the prophets, and peace be with you too. May you and your loved ones live long and prosper, but don't deny the truth. The message that Muhammad taught was responsibility once again. Take responsibility for what you think and do. Help others do it too, but know that you do it for yourself and the sake of Allah alone. When you follow the natural law of nature's God, you will live by the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. If you don't want to be forced, then don't force others too. The truth is that anything the government does is the application of force upon its citizens. When a society lives by one common truth, it can be said they've submitted to reality that they all have in their minds. And peace may actually be found as they work towards a common goal. This is the meaning of the word Islam, I'd like you to know. Peace and submission, and that's the absolute truth. Mike, I'm not sure this is what you expected when I asked for your text, but know that you gave me food for thought, and this is what came from my mind as I took a look at all your words. I thank you for your time and consideration in providing it all to me, virtually Jesus Christ. I'm just your friendly libertarian Muslim who has tested as a mastermind. I'm not divine in any shape or form. In reality, I'm Dan the Man, who receives mail as Mr. Jesus 2.3 by the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews. And that's the absolute truth, my friend. If you want to know more about me, or the journey I've taken in my life, you can find me in cyberspace, where I'm the master of my domain. http://virtuallyjesuschrist.com. Know that I'm a slave of Allah's, though, for I have used my free will to submit to God's will, and it gives me happiness and also peace of mind. I'm a peaceful guy, and that's the truth. regardless what anyone thinks or believes.